Hey guys, it's Stephanie. Hey, I am just about to sit down and trim some dog nails, so I thought you guys might like to come along. It's going to be very, totally ad lib. I just sat down and grabbed my treats and my Dremel and of course the slobber rag, and just thought you guys might like to come along. I was thinking I might try to do this once a week, but don't hold me to that. But I will do what I can. If this works out well, then we will definitely do more of these. Just sit down, a little bit of chatting. I'll give you just a few tips and tricks as far as trimming dog nails, and then we'll go from there. So maybe stick in the comments if you kind of like this, if you get any value from it. I'm praying that the phone is set up so that you can see the nails really well and you can see what I'm doing. But let's get going. If you are new here, my name is Stephanie, aka Big Dog Mom, and on this channel I provide information and resources to help you and your big dog live your best life together. So if you're interested in the topic of nail trimming, dog nail trimming, and would like to sit down with me and Sully and Junior and trim some nails, then stick with me. All right, let's get going. Are you ready? So one of the tips I wanted to share with you guys, and I will probably do a little more chatting than I normally do. Normally, I will sit in a room and you can see, I hope you can see in the background, the dogs are not trapped in here at all. So they have complete ability to run out of here if they want to, or they can stay and get their nails done. So there's no force in any way. And so you'll see that as we move forward. There is a lot of slobber though, huh, Sully? So normally I won't even put their paws on me, but they usually offer a paw. Huh. Yeah. So one of the things I thought I would just mention is you can tell that Sully has black nails. So that's one of the most common questions I get is how do you avoid the quick when the dog has black nails? So I'll try to use my little magnifying glass. Now, ignore Sully's disgusting paws. We have a dirt yard right now because our grass isn't in, so the dog's paws are just forever dirty and gross. But nonetheless, if you can see this is the nail that's longer. This is the one I just trimmed. And you can kind of see there's a black spot right in the middle there. Sully, you can see there's a black spot right in the middle there, and that would be the quick. So if I took that one much shorter, then I might hit the quick. I don't know. It's been years since I hit a quick, but I might. So get him. So the other thing you guys might notice, and I apologize, I'm not really doing a lot of talking in this video, so it's really more of kind of a demo. Sit with me. I'll try to offer tips and advice as I go here. But one of the things I wanted to tell you is that you'll notice that one of the things that I never do with my dogs is I never say, good dog, bad dog. There's no good dog or bad dog when it comes to nails. It really is purely a response-based exercise, meaning it's not inherently good or bad, right? So sometimes people will interpret the dog pulling their paws away as being like a bad behavior and that you need to stop this bad behavior. From the perspective of the dog, it's purely a response to fear, anxiety, stress, etc. So that is not something that I would want to reinforce or discourage necessarily. It really is my ability to respond better to my dog's behavior. hope you can see this. I don't know if you can. I'm using Ziwi Peak treats. If that, it doesn't really matter what treats you use. Really, I would say the best treats are always those that are going to be just tiny, something soft. You really don't want to use like big crunchy treats for nails. I find it's much easier to trim and give treats if they're just real small. So the Ziwi Peak is a raw, like a dry, raw, gently air dried. So I'm using tripe and lamb. The dogs like all of them. We've tried every single one of them and they really like them. So that is one of those treats that works well with us, but you could use just about anything. I just don't like large crunchy treats, mostly because it's a huge mess and they don't chew them quick enough. It really should just be something you can pop a handful in at a time. Yeah. Let's do this. Yeah. Okay, so I'm going to try to not block this, but we will see how this works. I know, Junior just got totally bored with me trying to do this. So I don't know if you can see these. You can see where his quick is. So kind of right there. So I'm basically just trimming, his nails are already pretty short, but I'm just trimming this top edge off. I'm getting as close as I can to that quick without hitting it. So this one is the one I just trimmed, and you can kind of see there's like this black area right there. So if I trim too much more from that, it would likely, it might start to bleed. So I will probably leave that one alone and then just trim a little bit off of each of these other ones. And I'm in a little different angle than I normally am, mostly because I'm hoping that you guys can see this pretty well. I got some comments on one of my other videos that you couldn't see, so it's a little hard getting just the right angle. So if this one works out, you guys will have to let me know in the comments if you like it, if you can see. So those are the 3 that I just did, and I didn't do that one. So hopefully you can see the difference between those. Sorry, So you can see one of the things that I do when I trim is I don't really grab their paws. I don't really hold them. I just kind of steady the nail that I'm trimming is all I really do. I just kind of hold that nail to prevent the vibration of the Dremel. And I do, on some of these nails, try to really press down. So I don't know if you can hear the difference, but there is a little bit of pressure that you place on the nail in order to shorten it. And that'll vary by the setting that you have your Dremel on, what type of Dremel you're using, what type of bit you're using. So there is some variability there, but that foot is all done. So I don't know if you can see that. They look pretty good. I could probably get them just a tiny bit shorter, but I think they look pretty good, silly. Okay, let's do this other one so they can see it. Okay. Okay, so hopefully you'll be able to see this. So you can kind of hear the Dremel even stop. It's not really stopping, but it's slowing down. But you can see if he ever pulls his foot away, I don't ever pull it back to me. I release all pressure whenever he pulls away from me. And you're going to have to give me some grace if I'm all covered in slobber, because that's just the nature of the beast here. So I'm basically just holding steady. the nail. Did that one tickle? Did that one tickle? Yeah. Okay, the other thing is, if you guys have any questions on this, I would be more than happy to do, more of these, like just weekly videos if you want me just to share, a tip here, a tip there as I think about things. I'm more than happy to do that. Or we could do a YouTube live or something to that effect if you want me to do this live. The challenge with doing that is that I'm never quite sure, and I won't be able to see comments. I'm not quite sure if my angle is right and if you're able to see. And then I won't really be able to see comments too well. So the live session might be hard, but you do it, so. Let me see it. That looks pretty good. So, one of the dangers of trimming big dog nails is that their paws are really heavy. Yes. Okay, so this is the thing I wanted to show you. So you can see Sully's or Junior's nails are a mix of white and like half black. So most of his are white, in contrast to Sully's, which are all really thick and really black. So there's not really a difference. Quite honestly, a lot of people think that white nails are so much easier, but really they're not. And when you use a Dremel, it's super easy, even with black nails, to see the quick. So I really don't think there's a huge difference between the two personally, but Junior's nails don't seem to grow as fast as Sully's do. So from that perspective, he's a little bit easier to maintain. But you can see with Junie's, his just don't barely need anything off every time I trim. So since I do this weekly, it's, I'm just taking a little bit off of Junior's because his are already right up to his quick for the most part, unless your quick is like inside your nail bed and so hopefully you can see this as I'm doing it. Yeah. Now, Sully. Well, you lost one, June. There you go. So as I said with Sully's, I'm purely just pinching, not really pinching, but I'm steadying the nail and then trimming. Yes, that one's done, June. That one's done. I already did this one. I already did that one. But let's do it for the camera, okay? That way they can see it. They can see a little bit. So you can see how short Junior's are. They really don't need to be cut too much. No, they don't. And if you watched my other video about the length of dog nails, I will throw that in a card, or I'll link it down below in the description. But in that video, I talk at great length about why it's important to make sure that you're maintaining your dog's nails. And really, my definition of, of the proper length of a dog's nail. In that video, I talk at great length about why it's really important to maintain the length of your dog's nails and not allow them to get too long. And really my standard for length is a few different a few different things. So first of all, I don't want to hear the dog's nails when they're walking. So if they're walking on, say, a tile floor, I don't want to hear the dog's nails when they walk. So that's the first thing. The second thing is when a dog is standing on flat ground, you don't want the nails to be touching the ground. The nails should be up off of the ground. The pad of the dog's paw should be the only thing contacting the floor. You just don't want the nails to be touching the floor, because what happens is then as the dog's paw is on the ground, the force is actually pushing the nails up into the paw, and can be extremely painful, can lead to debilitating consequences from an orthopedic perspective. And so really you can avoid it by maintaining the length of your dog's nails. And I believe that frequency is one of the biggest keys to that. And that is, to do them at least weekly once your dog is conditioned to a Dremel or a nail clipper. So I've said that in a number of videos. I have a whole playlist on dog nails, so if you're interested in learning more, definitely check out that playlist. I'll link it down below and I'll throw a card up. But yeah, it really is just as simple as what you saw here. And if you struggle with your dog's nails, and you have a dog that literally runs out of the room whenever you bring the Dremel out or the nail clipper, hey, if you lay there, I actually still have to do your back legs, Junior. So let me, I'm gonna finish up this video while I do his back legs, and I will zoom the video up because I think we're a little far away, but I do wanna finish him so I don't have to do this after I turn the camera off. But if you have a dog that really struggles with nails and just is absolutely terrified, I do have an online course that teaches dog owners how to trim their dog's nails without fear, frustration, force, or anything like that. And so I kind of walk you through step by step. It's a very comprehensive course, and you basically would, no matter where you are today, could end up through a number of steps in my methodology, you can end up with a dog that really just thoroughly enjoys getting their nails trimmed. So if you're interested in that, I will put the link down below in the description. The class is going to start in the next couple of months. So definitely put your name on the wait list if you're interested. I'm hoping you can see this. I'll try to zoom it up because I know some of you just really like to see what it looks like when you're trimming. And many of you are probably not so interested in my yapping. But really, I think the biggest tip I wanted to share with you today is just really working at your dog's pace and watching their body language. I hope you can tell this, but it's less about my agenda when I'm trimming nails than the dog's. So if the dogs were to walk out of the room, which they could, I would just let them. I would just let them walk out if that was what they wanted to do. But you can see both dogs are really pretty content to stay in here. Is that good? Mm-hmm. So the other tip I would share too, as I kind of finish out this video, is, just be patient with your dog. I was asked one time, what do I do if my dog runs out of the room? And I would just say, let him run out of the room. There's a lot to be said for just literally sitting in the middle of a room with some treats and a Dremel, if your dog is conditioned to the side of the Dremel first, and just waiting until your dog comes to you. I think that many dog owners would be surprised what would happen if they just allowed the dog the space and the freedom to come to them versus being chased around the house with the Dremel. Because obviously what that does is cause the dog to hate the Dremel and think that it's something bad. They're conditioned to fear it instead of enjoy it. All right, so ignore again, we have so much dirt outside, the pads of his paws you need some elbow butter on your paws, mister. But yep, those are done. So you can see his nails are really short. Sally's are a little bit longer. So let me know in the comments below if you enjoyed this, you know, just kind of sit with me and trim some dog nails with me video. Let me know if you enjoyed this kind of format. It was pretty, you know, unscripted, and you kind of were able to see a little bit of the dog's behavior as I trimmed. And hopefully I can get some close-ups for you that will be really helpful. But mostly I just wanted to offer a handful of tips and tricks. This was by no means meant to be comprehensive by any stretch of the imagination. If you do need a comprehensive step-by-step instruction for trimming your dog's nails in a force-free, frustration-free, fear-free way, that is in my online course. And so, as I said before, the link to that is in the description below. You can put your name on the wait list, and I will let you know when the door is open to that. But as I said, this was not meant to be a full-scale tutorial, but nonetheless, just to sit down with me and I could offer a few tips that might be helpful for you and your dog. So if you liked it, definitely hit that the like button. And if you have not done so already, I would love for you to join me here as a subscriber. So consider hitting that subscribe button before you go as well. And with that, I will see you in our next video. Bye for now. Okay, I already did that one. I need this one. Ow! Let's crawl over here. Come on. All right, Sally. Guess what, baby? You're done. You are done. Okay, let's get your friend in here. Let's get your friend in here. Okay, we're gonna get... Uh-oh. Junie heard his name. Here he comes. Okay. All right. Drastic measures. Let's do this. Come on, June. Up. Come on. Up. Junior.